Ya 30 June ukude wona kodwa ngoba safundiswa ukulawuleka sizalinda izwi ngoba iyona into esiyilindile. Ngakho bethatha uvantage la bekuthiwa bahambe bazitshela ukuthi sinenhliziyo ezinhle kanti lutho zikayizibosi. Sinengane thina sikhulele phansi kwayo lento le azikwazi ukuthi nezingane zethu zikhulele kulamanyala. Mfana wami nje okuyena omdala una 11 manje cabanga bangaka bezemva kwakhe njengoba ngibuye ngidubule ngathunje. Hayi abahambe asinandaba sizasala nabo anti zodwa la emathak shop bakithi abakwazi ukusebenza ngabantu kodwa sizapatanisa ngabo kulungile. Hayi ngoba sisazaphethuka imimoya kona. Uyabona nje emkhaya usaza kufika esitolo sangakini kuvuliwe kungekho umuntu umemeze cela ukuthenga uyacela uzoshiya imali yakho njalo kodwa ngesikade iqhamuke lento ngolonwabo nayifika kweni ingabingelela idlule lapho ihlafuna uthepisi ngathi ikamele letshisayo ey ubuso seyiqoqe ngathi uyayinukela nayidlula ukuthi thaqo iphunga lesitolobhele esibolile uthi yaliziba leli phunga lize na uhogela isisuzu ukuthi ahamani usitolobhele kaMax lonuka la sifuna ukuthenga la enobhizi nomdavazo lapha endlini yes sis kenge sisahlangabezana nazo la emzansi wemkhaya naya yongena ngaphakathi ke lento ibuye seyizolunguza ngale windi la my friend ayikwazi nakukhuluma nabantu ivela ithi nje ya ufunani ey keep 20 landing ngithenge ethishu eish awukushintshe ey cabanga ukuduba uyoshida bangephepha la cement ukhumbula ukuthi ishidi man liyaflashwa konje lela toilet damn it is a blogger land okay imalini ithishu 7 rand lapho usumince awudedeli lutho ngoba phela na usuphiso kakhulu nomsuzo awusawethembi ngisho ngazitshela ukuthi angathi izabe ship uyavala ngoba awazi uzathi ayidedela lento yomoyana le kanti ayihambi yodwa bese konakala kwaqasisa ukhiphe lo 7 rand nawo 7 rand unkosazana ayithathele imali ahudi izinyawo abhekele uthi uyazi we iphelile ahamana ubungasho ngani ey noma ngabe umpedi askis abudi ifedije hayi kodwa bahambe bona sizasala silungisa indaba yosisisanele nabo awusikoketho lapha ngoba isaza siphathisa ngekhanda nje indaba yayo usaza ukuthi uyothenga ikhadi la gesi wemkhaya uthi uyafika kwayena self umazetha akana gesi kumnyama esitolo amaneme night afudumele ngathi kade bekwesibayeni kodwa uphakela umthakathi siyabonga abafuthi niqale kahle lento qhubeka nayo umhosho odungulwandle ayiqhubeke lento kumele behambile laba nalo 30 June ukude kodwa manje.
This is not the time to come on the internet acting all clever, telling people what they stand to lose as if they don't know. South Africans are very tired. They've had it. They've had enough of the empty promises. They've had enough of not being taken care of, and they are fighting with all they have. They know very well what they stand to lose. They know very well what could potentially go wrong. So don't come here trying to put water into the fire that they have. Well, I'll tell you now, it's not going to work. South Africans have had enough. And to you leaders, this is actually a very difficult position that you find yourself in. Because as a leader of anything, it is very dangerous to have people that you are leading say they would rather lose their lives, they would rather lose their homes, their families for whatever they are standing up for. That is a very, very difficult situation to find yourself as a leader. We get to find ourselves in that situation as South Africa, where people are saying, we don't care. No, Fubi, don't tell me about investors. Don't tell me about the fact that investors may leave South Africa. Investors may not want to ever come back again, because even those investors, they invest and then that same investment is being mismanaged. And then we get to see people with 5 Lamborghinis, with 5 houses, 17 houses. Do you understand? So we don't care. We don't care. If this means that investors are going to stop coming to South Africa, let them stop so that we get to suffer, all of us. That's what this other person I was speaking to said to me, and I was like, hey, yeah, no. And the points are valid. Now tell me, how are you going to defend that? Because you cannot be, this guy said, don't tell me about the economy. This economy has not worked for us. We have been told, even forced to contribute into this economy, and yet it's not working for us. So if it dies, let it die. So this is for you. This is a call to you, government of South Africa, that you need to take your people seriously. It is your people that put you where you are. It is your people that are able to vote in this country. The asylum seekers, the foreign nationals, the refugees that are in this country that you seem to be prioritizing more than your people will not be able to go and cast a vote. They will not be able to do that. So why are they so important than the people that put you there? The last time I checked, the government was the people, for the people, by the people. So why are you now neglecting the government? Because the biggest government is the people. It's the people of South Africa. We are the government. Therefore, if we say this is what we want, we should be listened to. I rest my case. I'm done. I am done because the 30th of June is around the corner and we do not know what will happen. And my observation of what the government have been saying, what the government have been doing, is that the same government of the Republic of South Africa is going to come against its own people, which is very wrong because they are too quiet for my liking. Very quiet for my liking. And all it takes is to do what your people, the people that put you there, do what they want. And you know where to find them. You know where to find them. Find out, what do we do in this situation? Guys, this is how our hands are tied. We really want to, but we are not even being engaged. This is what happens. This is what happens if people keep bringing their grievances to you and you neglect those grievances. You give them no choice but to do something that will attract your attention. South Africans have given the government a lot of time to intervene in this situation, but it shows that they don't want to intervene. They don't want to sort it out, because these quiet and peaceful protests that have been going on countrywide, that was a cry for help. That was a cry for you, government, to listen to the people of your country. But the government is just not doing anything about it because they don't care. So what must happen then? Because as for me, as a child of God that I am, really, I love everyone. But the truth is, South Africa is at a state right now where I also feel like we need to sort our home affairs. And home affairs, I don't mean the department, I mean our affairs as a country. And we cannot do that right now. We cannot fix our country right now with all this immigration crisis that we are facing, because the very same government we are trying to address uses the immigrants in this country to hide their wrongdoings. So that is why we are saying, can you guys give us a chance to deal with our government? That's all we are doing here. We are not directing. This fight is actually not against any individual coming from these countries. No. If you have eyes to see, you will see that. But because our fellow brothers and sisters from our neighboring countries choose to paint us as bad people, they neglect reason. They don't want to reason. We really cannot fix our country with this immigration crisis. We are facing an immigration crisis which we believe our government is using that same immigration crisis to hide. They're hiding a lot of things, a lot of corruption, a lot of neglect, a lot of maladministration behind you guys. So that is why we are asking you nicely, please leave. You can come back later. We need to sort the house. We need to get our house in order.